Okay, I'm going to do a little knife discussion today. Um, I've had this knife here for a couple of years now. At the time, I started doing a lot of camping on a regular basis. Decided I'd like to have a decent size kind of camp knife, something I could use instead of a hatchet to split some wood. Food prep, sheltercraft, firecraft, just an all-round kind of medium-sized knife. And this was the way to go. At the time, was probably one of the highest rated knives I could find. And it's a great knife. It's comfortable. Choked up, it's comfortable. I don't have any hot spots on this knife. Works great. It's held an edge for a long time. They did a great job with the heat treat on the 1095. 1095 is a super tough steel anyway. It just is prone to rusting. It's not a stainless steel. But I keep them oiled and keep all my high carbon knives oiled. And this, it's a great knife. Got no complaints. And so I bought this Esse, and I liked it so much, I wanted a smaller knife, so I bought the Azula 2. And it's a great knife. I used to carry that knife on me, sorry about that, every day, the Azula 2. And until, jumping in and out of the truck and at work and stuff like that, I ended up wearing out the belt clip on the sheath. And now it's stuck in my backpack. I need to order a new clip for it, which I will do one of these days. So the next thing I was looking at was like the SC5. A little thicker than this knife, a little more robust. Wasn't sure how bad I needed it. And then the other kind of downside was the price. It's kind of a tool for me more than a knife. So usually when I have that kind of money, I usually will run down and pick up a folder, because this is what I have in my pocket every single day. I don't even wander around the house with one of these in my pocket. Or without. So I mean, it's almost like my glasses. The only time I don't have my glasses is when I'm sleeping. The only time I don't have a knife on me, is when I'm sleeping. So and bathing. But I don't have my glasses on then either. So this for me is one of those things that I buy quality because it's on me all the time. Like my glasses, I buy quality. It's just one of those things. So I have a hard time going there with some money because I already have the SE6, which is a great knife, and I already have it. So when it was time to decide whether or not I wanted the SE5, I looked for something a little different that was similar in specs. And I found it. And so the other day, I ordered this up. It's a Schrade. So I get to focus here. schf36. A 5-inch blade. I think it's like 4 3/4 cutting edge. It's almost 1/4 inch thick. It's very, get that to focus there. Very robust. Yeah, it wants to focus on the Esse. I don't blame it. Very robust tip. There we go. The grip's fairly comfortable. I did a lot of research before I bought it, watched a lot of videos, and a lot of people complained about this jimping here and here. I don't mind that jimping so much. This handle's very comfortable. I did get a hot spot here in this forward finger choil. It's very sharp, and it starts burning your finger soon after you start using that choil. But I can fix that with a Dremel. We'll just chamfer it a little bit. And I'm not worried about the finish, obviously, because it's already starting to wear, which is fine. I was mostly concerned about their version of 1095, as this is a Chinese knife. And they got it right. I have beat the living tar the last couple of days out of this knife. And it's still very sharp. Very sharp. I beat on the tip because I heard that hollow ground tips are very weak and prone to snapping. I won't ever pry with a knife. It's not what a knife is for. It's not for prying. If I do pry, I'm going to make sure I can get it in there a ways up onto the spine here before I start prying. I won't stick that tip into anything, as I won't stick that tip, as I won't stick the tip of my ZT in anything and pry. Because I love my knives and I don't like breaking them. So I have whacked and whacked and whacked on that tip, and other than the coating coming off, that is it. This knife has kind of won me over to Schrade. So instead of looking at Mr. Esse and the Esse5, I'm actually looking to get the bigger brother to this knife, the 37 or the 52. I haven't decided yet. But here is what is the most important thing. My Esse6, which I love, will always have that knife. Always. I think I paid $167 for it. It's fine. It's an Esse, guaranteed for life. As long as it doesn't rust. I could break that knife off in the skull of a dragon, and Esse would send me a new knife. You know what I'm saying? So there's something there. Okay? There's some value there. Well, when it come to the Esse5, I wasn't sure I wanted to spend that because it's even more expensive than the Esse6. And I know the prices have come down a little bit. So I think the Esse6 you now can get for about $130 to $140, and the Esse5 has come down to about $170. $170. I paid $30 for this knife. 1095 steel, same as the Esse. Great heat treat, and so far as I can tell, very similar to the Esse. Now, the coating obviously has not weathered like the Esse has. But in reality, how important is the coating? Now remember, I take care of my knives. So they get oil, they get stored in a dry place. They're taken care of. Okay, so the jimping's a little sharp. I can fix that. You know, the handle's not micarta, and it's not as comfortable as that handle. But it's close. And I have not tried the micarta handles that come on these. They do have micarta handle knives. And here's the thing. I can order the schf36M for, I think they're 40 some odd dollars, and get the micarta handle. So if I like it. But what I'm probably going to do is get the bigger brother to this knife, the 7-inch knife. It's probably going to be my next knife. And it's $30, as is the 52, which is the upgraded version, which has a little different handle shape, longer handle. I don't know if I'm going to like that longer handle. I like this handle. But at $30, I can order the knife. If I don't like it, I can give it to my son. It's $30. It's not $200 or $170. See what I'm saying? So if I don't like it, then I can just order the 37 and get the micarta handles. Okay? They did such a good job on this 1095, from what I'm testing here on this knife, that I think I'm going to plan on buying a couple of the different knives that are made in 1095, like the 56, the 37. There's a couple more. They got a numbering system like ZT. It's hard to remember all the numbers. If Schrade made all their knives in 1095, there would be a bunch I would order, because there's some cool knives on Schrade's knife list, their catalog. They got some really cool knives, but they use 8CR13 MOV, and I am not a fan of that stainless steel. I don't like Spyderco's version of it. I don't like Kershaw's version of it. I don't. I'd rather have BD1. I'd rather have S30V, of course. I really equal it to Bucks 440, and I don't like Bucks 440. I think for the average guy, it's probably perfectly fine, but not for me. I can sharpen S30V. I can sharpen 204P. I can sharpen 1095. Razor sharp, good. I don't like a polished edge. I like a nice working edge. Something that's not going to be super shavy sharp, but is going to stay workshop sharp for a very long time. I don't know if you guys can hear that. You hear that piston engine? I don't know if that's picking it up, but we got a B-17 flying around out there today. And every time it flies over, I usually run outside and look, because of my grandfather. I can hear those piston engines, those radial engines. And because of him, I always look to the sky and look for the airplane that's flying that has a radial piston engine. So anyway, back to the knife. So $30, okay? Now, was that knife worth $160? To me, it was. It was an Esse. It's got a great warranty. Coating's really good. Handle material's really good. Sheath is okay. There's no money in the sheath. It's plastic. I like the sheath. I like how it sits on my hip. I like that it's lightweight. I love it way better than the nylon sheath that this comes in. But is it $100 worth the sheath between the two? Nope. Not at all. I mean, look at the sheaths here. This is just plastic. Let me set this knife down so I don't cut myself. It's just plastic. It is. It's not Kydex. It's plastic. Injection molded plastic. I like the sheath. Don't get me wrong. I wish this is what the Schrade knives came with. And the 56 LM, which I'm going to order, does come with a plastic sheath. I like the metal belt loop. It's a little loud. You can hear it. And if you get it caught on something, it twists and turns, it kind of bends out of shape. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but you can get them and replace them. What I don't like about this sheath is it's just flimsy. I like a sheath that's rigid, rides a little higher. I don't like how low this rides. I like it to ride a little higher. The pocket's fine, but usually if I'm carrying a knife this big, I have my backpack and it has all this stuff in it. It has a fire steel and a sharpener. It comes with it though, for 30 bucks. You get the sheath with the snap and the pocket with the fire steel and the sharpener. 30 bucks. And a tough knife for 30 bucks. See where I'm getting at here? Now, I know when you watch the other Schrade videos, because you're going to watch the Schrade videos, because I do, on all their models. Those guys, Schrade sends them the knives. Majority of them. They get them for free. I paid for mine. I'm going to pay for my next one, and my next one, and my next one. Schrade ain't calling me up. I got, what, 40 some odd subscribers? They're not watching my videos. And you know what? I don't mind. I don't mind. 30 bucks, who cares, right? That's like a dinner. And you get a badass piece of 1/4 inch 1095. Okay? The 56 LM, I'm intrigued about that knife. I can't wait to order it. I'm going to probably order it Friday. My Carta scales, it's got a 4-inch blade. It's not as tall. It's 3/16, kind of a bushcrafty type knife. Might be a little heavy for what it is, but like I said, I'm a folder guy. I'm not a fixed blade guy. I'm just not. The one knife I wish they do in 1095 is that, I think it's called the 47. It's the big Bowie. I think they call it the Jethro. It's like a 10-inch Bowie knife. If it wasn't 8CR13 MOV, I'd order it just to order. I mean, I that's how much I dislike 8CR13 MOV. I just don't care for it. If they built that knife in 1095, I'd buy it. Would I ever use it? Probably not. Probably would never use it. It would probably, get hung up down in my gun room as a novelty piece. I don't chop. I don't, but I tell you what, I'd buy it if it was in their 1095. I would buy it. 47 bucks is what I think they have that for. $47. I'd pay $50 for that knife if it was in, 55, 60 bucks, if it was in their 1095. As long as it's consistent. This is the first one I bought. I haven't bought any more yet. I'm going to. So I'm just going off of what this, and this is just their run-of-the-mill. I think it actually won an award back in 2015 or 2016, kind of with the videos I was watching. They said something about that. This knife was worth 30 bucks all day long. I couldn't believe, I thought I was going to get a really, you kind of believe the guys on YouTube. It's hard to, because they get the knife sent to them for free. So they want to keep getting those knives for free. So you wonder if they're going to be honest. And I really had to watch a lot of different videos of different Schrade knives to find out if these guys were just hoorahing for the company to keep getting free knives, or if they were being serious. And a couple of them I found, when the knives failed, they let them know. They let the viewer know that, hey, something's wrong with this knife, either bad heat treat or whatever. And so those are the guys I kind of tended to believe a little more than, say, guys that, Schrade just sends them boxes and boxes of knives, and they get a glowing review on every one. So, I'm not pitching for knives. I'm going to go buy these knives, because from what I got right here, worth it. And what I'm recommending to you is check them out. It doesn't cost a lot of money to check them out. And I'm telling you, so far I'm happy. I'm completely thrilled that for 30 bucks, I got this. I'm not even thinking about the Esse 5 anymore. Not even thinking about it. So take it for what it's worth, fellas. I'm just saying, I like quality stuff. I don't mind paying a price for quality. I don't. I mean, you look up there, those are all pro saws right there. All of them. Even the McCullochs, to be honest with you. Pro saws, I don't mind paying the money for the pro stuff. But when I can find the stuff that's, I mean, dude, serious, a little chamfer here, you know, maybe upgrade the handles a little bit, maybe the sheath, you know, $30. How much does a Kydex sheath cost to have made? You know, I don't know. I've never done it. But I'm going to look into it. Because at this price, I can afford a nice sheath. And as long as this knife keeps hanging on and doesn't break, and I don't think it's going to, it's a chunk of steel. I'm going to tout these bad boys. I'm going to recommend them to anybody. Because so far, and I mean, dude, there's my baton right there. I mean, I beat the living tar out of this knife. Through knots, through stuff that was almost too thick. I could barely get the baton on the tip. I mean, I was hitting on the tip. Okay. Oh, hey, there it is. There it is. There. Oh. Anyway, we had it for a minute there, for a second. And nothing. I expected it to break, and it did not. So, this is just your run-of-the-mill 36. It wasn't special. Schrade didn't send this to me special. This was off of Amazon. Some guy went through the factory and picked it out, sent it in a box, sent it to me. So, like I said, if you guys are looking for that big camp knife, you know, hey, Esse, there's a name there. But I think you're paying for the name. Because these guys right here, they did this knife right. And I look forward to buying a couple other of their knives for sure. And I don't need the SE5 anymore. So that's what I'm saying. I love Esse. I love my SE6. I'll never get rid of it. Nothing will replace it. 3/16 of a blade, full flat grind. It's a great all-round knife. Great all-round knife. I love the Unglas. One of these days, I'm going to save the money up. I'm going to get the Unglas. I'm not really going to use it. It's a big knife. But one of these days. But I'm telling you, in that 5 to 7 inch range, even 4, these 1095 Schrades are worth every penny. And they don't hurt the pocketbook. $30. What's $30 run nowadays? I mean, you can't even hardly get a dinner and a beer anymore for $30. You know, heck, you go to McDonald's, it costs you $12, $13. You know, 3 trips to McDonald's and you can have one of these right here. Anyway, I've rambled on way too long. I think you guys get my point. Have a great day. I'm going to beat the tar out of this knife all summer. And I'll come back to you late in the fall after hunting season. If I remember. I will. I'll remember. I need content anyway. I'm a small channel. I'll let you know how it does. And the Esse too. I do love my Esse. But this is worth it. $30. I'm telling you. Get one today. I don't think they're going anywhere. There was a mazillion of them online. So I don't think you have to worry about them selling out. Not off of my request. So anyway. All right, guys. Have a great day. We will see you here in the future.